Hello and welcome back to more chaos. Things have been super quiet lately. And so I'm going to tell more ghost stories and weird stories of just things that I have that would be the start of a horror movie. So we're going to go with I have a deck of tarot cards. I did not buy these tarot cards. And so if you don't know, there's this game Dishonored. I actually have it. I would like to play it, but because of my current setup, the only way I'd be able to play it is streaming it. And my Xbox is not happy with discs, so I don't know how well that would work without causing problems. But that's another story in itself. Anyway, so there's this game Dishonored, and I found a the box, the like outside box is worn out like crazy, but the cards themselves look brand new, which makes it even weirder. But it is a deck of Dishonored tarot cards. And so here's what happened. I've had them for maybe 10 years. Yeah, Brandy was like 6, 7, so like 9, 10 years. And my mom would, she used to regularly look at like Facebook Marketplace for like yard sales, stuff like that. We're gonna put that up there. And so we would regularly just be dragged to these weird places of, hey, we're gonna get some new stuff for the living room, or hey, let's look and see if we can find anything cool. And so one night, it was like the middle of summer, and this family was moving out, and so they put on Facebook Marketplace of, hey, we have some stuff in the like alley. If you want it, come get it. Otherwise, we're just gonna throw it away. And so my mom was like, "Oh, cool." The problem was it was like 10 o'clock at night, so she messages the people and is like, "Hey, are you still doing this, or like, would it be a problem?" And they're like, "No, come on." So we go into this shady. Woo, woo. Okay, why are you laggy? We go into this shady alleyway in the middle of the night, and there's some boxes. There's people that are clearly moving furniture and stuff. And there's just all these. It was a lot of milk crates for some reason, which was interesting. But just a bunch of boxes sitting in this alleyway in the middle of the night. And in one of them was specifically children's Bibles. There was like 10 of these kids' Bibles of like one is the story of Adam and Eve and like comic versions of the Bible for kids to digest. Hi! Oh, been a while! You startled me. Hello! I forgot he was in this. So, at the bottom of this container of children's Bibles, I find a sliding puzzle of like Jack Daniels, the alcohol, and a deck of tarot cards. Don't bite my foot. Dog. Meanie. And it gets even weirder because my mom, I don't know if she knew them beforehand, but she ended up like going off like in their house and was like talking to them. So she disappeared for like an hour and was just talking to these people who were moving out as me and my younger sister were just going through. all these boxes, and so we go through them in like 10 minutes, and it's just waiting of where the hell is our mom in the middle of the night, just standing there, and I get bored, so I start I don't really I haven't done anything with the tarot cards. All I've done is like look through them. I don't know crap about tarot cards, but my brain associates them with Ouija boards of it's something that I don't know what it is, but I know if I screw up while messing with it, it's not going to end well. And so I haven't done anything with it. I'm probably never going to do anything with them other than using them as a bragging right. So, my inventory is almost full. Hmm. So, that in itself, like a box of Bibles, and just digging through it, you suddenly find tarot cards, is the beginning of a horror movie. You cannot tell me otherwise. Oh, I'm going to tell the story of my 21st birthday. I've told this like 50 times at least. My 21st birthday is memorable for the weirdest and creepiest reason. So, I didn't have any plans for my 21st birthday. I didn't really want to do anything. And it was kind of just, eh. It was, it kind of just felt like another day. So I didn't really want to do anything. And so I decided at like 12 o'clock at night, going on till like 2 o'clock in the morning the next day. Really? That I was gonna do a live stream. I was like just getting into live streaming. I had like just made my Twitch account, and it was literally just for shits and giggles. But I was messing around. I was bored. We were sorting through like board games and stuff. I'm like, might as well. Why not grow my like community, get used to what I'm doing, kind of thing. And so I was just screwing around. My little sister ended up joining me, and the two of us were just sorting through like board games, so like puzzles. We have Star Wars chess, all of this stuff, and two people ended up joining us. We were just having this conversation, and at like 2 in the morning, I actually have a stupid picture from my first taste of alcohol. The only alcohol we had at the time was this gross, weird watermelon beer. I don't know why we had it. Specifically, I know why we had it. I don't know why my sister had it. So my sister at the time was like moving out and was like cleaning her stuff up. And so she had given us a bunch of her junk that she didn't want, including a lot of stuff from her fridge. And among them was this weird watermelon beer. It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Would not recommend it ever. It's horrible. Anyway, so we were messing around, we were joking around, and suddenly one of the people like chatting was like, "Hey, someone's out on your porch." Or so to kind of explain how I was recording is I was recording out here in the living room where I'm currently recording now, And if you walk in the front door, you turn directly to the right, there's the TV stand and there's a window behind it. And in the middle of the like living room, there was a coffee table. We've now gotten rid of it. Um, and I just had my computer facing the TV stand and the TV. So even now, I'm like looking at the window as I'm explaining this. From the angle, you could only see like the top crevice. So you could see from the angle, you could see like just that, let's say that leaf is the window. You can see just that top section. All the rest of it would be behind the TV and TV stand. And so someone is like, hey, there's someone out the window. And there's a few problems with that. First is, you are flying, sir. Hi! Hi! What happened there? Hello? You... I... What the hell happened there? Okay. First is our porch. Almost anywhere in the house you can hear, like, we have cats that live outside. Not our cats specifically, but we have, like, just neighborhood cats that live outside. They have the entire time we've lived here. And you can hear them. Especially if you're not, like, blaring music and stuff, you could hear them easily just walking around out there if they're on our porch. So there's no way there's gonna be a person of any kind out on the porch without us hearing it, especially since we're right there next to the front door. Did I place this? Herebrain, you are not allowed to build on my property. That's not allowed. This is my island. You can have the entire rest of the world. Stay off my island. So, one, we would have heard it. If there was a person, we definitely would have freaking heard it. And two, even now, there is stuff in front of that window outside on the porch. There's like this seat that our sister had given us, along with like just some extra boxes and stuff that don't. Essentially, the porch is our storage because we don't have a shed or attic or basement or anything like that. We live in a trailer. So we don't have really like extra storage. So anything that we don't need, like Christmas stuff, is all out on the porch or under the porch. So there is a seat and a bunch of junk in front of that window. So even if there was a person, which one, we would have heard, two, they would have had to climb up that junk or would have had to be ridiculously tall to like crouch down over that junk. So I think we did the math. They would have had to be like 8-ish feet tall, or like 7-8 feet tall in order to do that. And once again, we would have heard it, but we didn't hear anything. So of course we're like questioning. We're like, no, there's no way. And these guys sent us, like, we have pictures of like still images of, you can see my face of like I'm chatting and just talking, and in the background up in the top corner you can see what looks like a person crouched down staring directly down at us. To me it looks like two people, of like one person looking forward and the other having like a hat on looking to the side. But yeah, it was terrifying. Of course, we were both freaked out. There's like no way. I got up. At the time the curtain had been like pulled back because the cat liked going up on the TV stand and was like looking out the window. And so we were freaking out. We're like, what the hell? There's definitely not anything out there, because we would have heard it. And we like checked the window ourselves. There's nothing out there. None of the junk in the way would have made that. Like, we were even looking at the stream, like I could see the video footage in front of me of as it was recording, and you definitely can't see that. So of course we're all like, what the hell is going on? So close the window, hope it's just some strange anomaly, and hope we're just that something else is going on, because we don't have an explanation. Maybe 20 minutes later, the same people are like, hey, there's something else in the window. And we're like, what? What do you mean there's something else in the window? Of course, we once again look at the window. There's nothing. We can't see anything. This time, they send us a still image of the window, now with the curtains closed, of what looks like you could see the shadow of a hand, as if someone had reached up and like touched the window outside. And it's just like, what? What the hell? And so that was a great start to my 21st birthday. Apparently, the ghost just decided to be like, hey, happy 21st. We're going to give you a heart attack. I'm just trying to garden. You're Brian Weiss. Oh, wait. I can do stupid stuff. You ready to do stupid stuff? I should smelt this anyway. I should also make... Yeah. Well, it's not as much as I wanted, but that'll work. No? Can I not make a jack-o'-lantern? Oh, there we go. It specifically has to be on top of. We're gonna put a jack-o'-lantern. The jack-o'-lantern is gonna be the one right here. Just because we can. Also, we have so much sugar. Anyway, it was interesting, and it got weirder. None of this stuff has happened since, but the night of my 21st birthday, because I wasn't doing anything, my little sister was like, "Hey, could I have a sleepover?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so she invited her friends over. Two of them ended up spending the night, and they decided to do a ghost ritual, like the dumbasses they are. And from like 10 o'clock until 2 in the morning, weird stuff was happening. So there was stuff being like thrown around the house. There was weird footsteps out on the porch. Like it sounded like people were walking out there. There clearly wasn't anyone out there. There was like the sounds of scratching. I had a wardrobe in the living room. We've thrown it out. Um, and it was just chaos for like 5 hours. And my mom actually got mad at me because we were panicking. I didn't know what the hell to do. And so I knew that salt is one of those weird things that when it comes to ghosts, it both draws them in and pushes them away. And so I didn't know what I was doing. I was panicking, and so I'm like, "Salt, we're gonna try and salt the house." And so we did. So um we ended up throwing salt like all over the house. Like every doorway, every window had salt by it. The TV stand had salt by it. There was salt everywhere. Because I didn't know what the hell to do. None of us knew what to do, and we were freaking out. And do you want to know my mom's reaction to all of this when she learned that her children were in this terrifying situation? Even if it was a bunch of bull and just we were freaking each other out, in this terrifying to us situation, her reaction was, "I'm glad I was asleep through all of it. I'm glad it happened to you, not me." And it's like, dude, goodness, Mom, why? And she then yelled at me for throwing salt all over the place. I'm like, I didn't know what else to do. The ghost didn't like it though, because like it everything went quiet for a little bit after I put salt everywhere. And then I laid down and suddenly something threw a handful of salt right at my face. Like I'm glad I had my glasses on at that point, otherwise there would have been salt right in my eyes. It did not like that. But none of that has happened since. Literally, no. The worst that has happened is the occasional like curtains will move on their own. But that could also be wind because we live in Wyoming, and Wyoming is a very windy place. Okay, we're gonna go do more mining. You're probably sick of mining, but it's fine. I was supposed to make bread. Also, I wasn't excessively surprised when weird stuff started happening on my 21st birthday, because before then, I had been doing occasional live streams, and regularly, whenever I have face cam, um, people will say your curtain is moving and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. Or it like looks like someone just grabbed that and all of this stuff. And I don't know if people are just trying to spook me. I don't know what's going on there. But just regularly people would appear like in chat and be like, "Hey, did you know it looks like there someone just grabbed the curtain?" I'm like, that's weird. Actually, I have more ghost stories. So I used to work as a sweeper at an elementary school. If you don't know what a sweeper is, it's basically like assistant to the janitor. So I would help with cleaning up the school. And I can tell you from experience, schools, when there is no one in them, it sends chills through you because it's one of those things, it's like liminal spaces of, like in your brain, same with like parks and stuff. A part of you knows that there is supposed to be people there. And so now being in this place that there's supposed to be people there and there's no one, It's freaking terrifying. And your brain definitely does some stuff to you. So some of what I experienced could have easily been my brain going crazy. Of there's something off here because there's no people here and there's supposed to be people here. And the other part is there was definitely weird shit happening at that school. So the entire time, to kind of explain the layout for all of these stories and all of these events, the basic layout of the school is you go in through the main doors, and immediately to the left, you have all of the offices. So there's like the nurse's office, there's the principal, there's the secretary, all that right there. And then if you go forward a bit, and then head left, there's a hallway that leads down all of the offices. At the far end, there's bathrooms, there's the gym, which also had the janitor's closet in it, and then there's the art room back that way. The other direction is this curved hallway that goes around the library. And then it almost looks like spikes of a wheel, if you can imagine, where out from this curved hallway is individual hallways which would have each classroom. And it had one for like each grade. So there was first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then at the very end there was a big section for sixth grade, and there was a few extra classrooms at the far end of that hallway for kindergarten. And then next to each of these hallways, there was a like supply closet. This, as background knowledge, this is a school on base, so a lot of the kids that go there are kids of like uh military like family members and stuff. So it's pretty decently funded, and they had a ridiculous amount of supplies. That's a whole other story in itself. Let's just say I still have notebooks and pencils from the amount of extra notebooks and pencils that they just had too much of. The pencils was mostly because all the kids kept losing pencils, and so I would pick them up. I still have like 200 pencils. I have not needed to get new pencils in like 4 years. Because they took so many. Anyway, the whole time I was there, any time, whether the lights were on, whether the lights were off, the whole time I just had this overwhelming feeling that there is something in the library. And I need to keep an eye on the library. Like, there's just paranoia of there's something staring at me from in the library. And so the whole time, every time I walked down that curved hallway, my eyes were always in the library of there is something just staring at me. I never saw anything, just this overwhelming like paranoia of there is something there. This main hallway as well had a skylight. It didn't have like clear glass, it was fogged glass, which was weird, but it all came to a point. So there's no way to like stand and walk up on this hallway. But regularly I would hear like footsteps above me as if someone was walking up on that glass. And of course, it's a skylight. If there is someone walking up there, you're going to see it. And there wasn't. Um, hmm. The first like biggest thing that kind of happened to me was like 4 5 weeks into working there. I worked there for about 2 years um during school, and then like 1 month in the summer just because I wanted to know what it was like to work there during the summer. And so like a month or so into working, I was, since I would arrive there before all of the kids got out, since I was in high school and it was an elementary school, uh, I couldn't really do much. So for the first like half an hour I was there, I was put in charge of sweeping the rocks off the entryways just to limit the amount of rocks that came in from the playground to the school. And when I first started, I would always sweep from the doors with my back to the playground, out towards the playground. So this would be the door, there's the playground, and I would sweep back this way. Later on, I began sweeping sideways because of this, and what happened was I was sweeping, walking backwards, lost in my own world, just passing time, when I heard what sounded like a ball, like a basketball. Jesus! I heard that! Hi, O'Brien. I heard what sounded like a ball bouncing directly behind me, like someone had quickly dribbled a basketball right behind me. And I quickly turned around because I'm like, what the hell is that? And there's nothing. There's no one. And then, because of that weird noise, I always had a sense of paranoia of there's someone behind me or out on the playground when I'm sweeping. So I stopped sweeping backwards. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here. Thank you for joining me. Hope you have a lovely day, and farewell.